Hi everybody, I'm Stephanie. I did a lot of videos yesterday to begin sharing a lot of just informative videos of some things that had crossed my mind. But I've decided to post this video first. And this video is about kind of like genetic memory and remembering. I'm back in the land of my ancestors, and when I arrived there, I can tell you that it still looks as if a bomb hit it yesterday, and the wind is whistling behind me, and that's kind of the energy I'm feeling. It's really boiled up in me, so I'm going to release it. I was very fearful of releasing it because genetic memory has told me that what you release out, once you release it out, you can't call it back. So I'm going to release it today. And a lot of it, I've been watching a lot of videos. I do watch a lot of videos. I watch inspirational videos. I watch a lot of oracles. I have ones that I feel speak directly to me and where I am right now in life. And I also like to keep up with current events because you have to be aware of what's going on around you. Even though I don't really participate in the society much, I do like to be aware of what's going on around me, for awareness' sake. So I'm looking at all of these videos, like with the deportation thing going on, and how bold these immigrants are. And I think we don't understand a lot of things they think we don't see. So I'm going to tell you what I see and see if you agree with me, see if it fits the current events. First of all, at this point in time, the energy that we're putting out there, life is energy and frequencies, okay? The energy that we're putting out there is an awareness of what is ours and what belongs to us. And during the collusion phase of putting us into this deep sleep, a lot of these nations that colluded, they were expecting some return on investment. They were expecting to be enriched by our demise as well as those who are enriched by our demise. So as time progressed into the future and the wheel of life and the circles of change come about, they didn't get their piece of the pie. So we have to understand that this whole immigration thing is really, they're coming to get their piece of the pie. Everyone is in a reparations mode. So they're in a reparations mode too. So they're coming to get their piece of the pie. And basically they feel like they have the powers that be over a barrel because they know the truth. They know what's going on. So now what has been going on is a competition. See, like if everything's all built on a lie, they're like, well, we agreed to go along with their lie, but we don't have to keep going along with their lie. We can create our own lies. We don't have to go by their lies. We're going to use our own lies. So it all started, you're going to think like, oh, Stephanie, you've gone too far. You've gone too deep. But I'm going to tell you, okay, so I'm going all the way back to Fukushima. And when you just look at the prophecies and about the shoe being thrown at Moab, you know what I'm saying? So I just think of all of these things go through my mind. And when it combines, like the books that I've read and the genetic memory, because you got to combine everything. You cannot live in their world. You have to go deep within yourself and tap into what's in you, because you know it's all a lie. You can look around and see it's not rational. It doesn't make sense. So that's really was the beginning of the end, kind of, for like Asia. So they really started the whole who can tell the biggest lie. Okay, they really did, and I'm going to tell you when they did that. They did that when they said they launched a rocket to the dark side of the moon. So, we said we went to the moon, right? We went to the moon and we did all this on the moon. We planted our flag on the moon. So they're like, hey, guess what? We went to the dark side of the moon, because you can't prove or disprove either, can you? So now it's who can tell the biggest lie. So now that we have this whole Ilhan Omar thing going on with the Somalis, and we have the Republican Party saying that even the Native Americans don't have birthright citizenship. So now we have the Somalis and the natives colluding to say that, hey, 3,000 years ago, we promised them this land. Because you can't prove or disprove it, right? And so because they started the lie that this was their land and they were here first and all this other, so how can they prove or disprove that? So now they're having a war of the lies. Who can tell the biggest lie? But the reality is no one's getting out of this without the truth. No one's getting out of this without the truth. And everyone's going to have to tell the truth. And until the truth is told, there's going to be no comfort, no stability, no security for anyone here. It's time to accept that you tried it and it failed. So the truth has to come out. And until then, no one's going to be comfortable. And all these lies that everyone wants to keep telling and all of this pretend, everyone's tired of pretending. Pretending's not working. Everyone can feel in their bones that something is not right. It's the pea in the princess's bed. So as you try to lull us to sleep, the pea in the bed is keeping us up at night. At night. And that's my energy. My energy is the color purple energy. Until you do right by my people, everything you do, everything you think of doing, everything you try to do, is going to fail. Period. That's my energy. And that's what I'm releasing today. There is no need for any living thing, the planet included, to suffer. Plant a fruit-bearing tree. I have to include that in this video since I'm changing the first video. Plant a fruit-bearing tree, because climate change is just a hormonal imbalance of the planet, because she's being bombarded with testosterone hormones, with all the pollen from all these male trees that don't have anything to fertilize. Even the scripture says a wasted seed is an abomination. The planet is alive. She is a living being, and she's being assaulted with male hormones. It is an imbalance. It's an imbalance. Plant a fruit tree randomly. It's just eventually people will have to either acknowledge the truth that they feel deep inside them or continue with the lie. And if you choose to continue with the lie, then you agree to the suffering of every living being, of every living thing. And I bought this deck. You know, I watch a lot of tarot readers. I do. And I actually bought a deck, and I blessed the deck. I don't read often, but hearing this energy, because it is so overwhelming, I did want to seek guidance from my ancestors, because I'm back in my homeland, as I said, and they're very loud. They're very loud here, and they're sad and angry too. So the cards that I pulled, I asked one question. Should I release this energy out into the world? Because once you release it, it's too late. So the first card that I pulled was the Monarch card. The Monarch card. Victorious. And so I wanted to make sure that I understood it correctly, because as I said, I haven't really used the deck. I just pray with the deck. Ask if I put positive energy into my deck. So this is what the book that came with them says, because it was a Secrets of the Ancestors Oracle deck that I purchased. Take a deep breath and buckle up. You will overcome this challenge. You are loved, you are protected, you are supported, and your hard work is paying off in a big way. Your vision is meeting your drive. Call your power back to you now and move forward. There is no need to be uncertain. You are on the right path, but your confidence and determination are needed. Take charge. Picture you rolling in on a chariot, heralded by sphinxes. You are regal. And this is the ancestral memory with this card. It says, the monarch is depicted by Hatshepsut, the Egyptian queen who was crowned king in her own right. She wore a beard to signify that she was as powerful as any man. There was a failed attempt to erase her from history. It's go time. This is called the ancestral medicine. It says, it's go time, my child. If we fail to plan, we plan to fail. For many of your ancestors, planning was a luxury they didn't have. This is your nudge to keep going. So that kind of said, okay, you know you're gonna sound a little crazy. People are, who knows what you guys think, but I'm putting it out there. So that was the first card, and at the bottom of the deck was the Root of Water card, highly sensitive, because I am highly sensitive. I'm a very deep empath, and that's one of the reasons why I do tend to live an isolated life. It says, you may feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, giggling one moment, bawling the next. You are on a soul journey, and I am. That's why you are feeling it all so deeply. Don't take every little thing seriously. Trust your inner guidance. Honor your feelings. The ancestors are speaking to you. And then in the ancestral memory, it says the root of water is the hibiscus flower. This yin energy plancestor comes forward as a Zimi, nature spirit of the Taino people of the Caribbean, and the goddess Atabe, supreme creatrix and mother. Like her hibiscus flowers, Atabe represents the moon, fertility, love, romance, and beauty. And that's kind of where I am. It's like a dichotomy of sorts, and I am a Libra, so it's like I feel more balanced now. At times I would be way deep into my shadow self, and I wasn't happy there. And at times I would be way deep into my light and love side, and I would be taken advantage of. So I had to find the balance, and right now my energy is on balance, justice and balance for the whole world. Not just for me and mine, but for the whole world. I've noticed that we are people who don't like to see anyone suffer, while others are willing to have others suffer as long as they don't suffer. And now that suffering is going around, even their symbol of the snake eating itself, that was in one of the other videos too, like their whole symbol is the devouring of itself. So when you start to pay attention and not be lulled to sleep by the things that they put in their box, you'll see it too. But that's the energy right now. Until you do right by my people, until the truth is told. That's why all these nations, they're blackmailing you. They all know the truth. It's like, hey, like we agreed to this lie. We don't have to agree to this lie anymore. If you're not going to give us our piece of the pie. So they've all been getting full. All of them. And they wouldn't even let us have any crumbs. They picked who got the crumbs. See, they pick and choose who get the crumbs. So that's all I really have to say. I've been out here earning my daily bread. I'm still writing, but I haven't really been in a secure place where my energy was protected enough to really delve into much of the writing. So I've been pretty much just surviving. Like I said, I did quit my job and walk away from everything. But this was something that I felt the need to share. I'm also going to release the videos that I did yesterday, but I'm going to release them, in the time, like scheduled releases, because there was a lot of information in there as well that I don't wish to repeat. So yeah, that's it. Until you do right by my people, everything you do, it's gonna fail.